Amajja gange nze Matovu Margaret Nalubega. Vicky namulaba nti tawulira ku myezi 3. Nali mututeko mu clinic ng'alina akabwa konna ku mutwe. Dokita n'amukebera n'amuzanyiikiriza era nga bwe bazanyiikiriza abaana, n'amukwata n'amuwuuba. Bwe yamuwuuba teyeekanga. N'aŋŋamba, Mama Vicky, there is something wrong with Vicky. Kati mu kumukebera batusooka ne baŋŋamba nti tawulira. She's completely deaf. Natya nnyo. Ne ŋŋamba omukyala eyali atukolako ne mugamba, Irene, it is not possible. Si wange. Namukwata ne muteeka eri ne mugamba oyo si wange. Nze sisobola kuzaala mwana atawulira. Naŋŋamba kakkana. Mama Victoria kakkana. Omwana wuwo. Ate kati bw'onoobanga gwe maama wa muzaala okoze ekyo. Kakati ate abatamuzaala olowooza banaakola ki? Naŋŋamba kakkana. N'azikakkanya. Naŋŋamba ajja kuwulira. Tulinawo option. Omwana basobola omukolako ku matu ne bamuteekamu cochlears. N'akola ki? N'amala n'awulira. Ne tuddayo ewaka ne twogeramu era nga bamaama b'omwana. N'agamba naye omanyi tukikole. Guma tukikole. Tujja kisobola. Tujja kwewola, tujja kutunda bye tulina, tukikole. Kuba kakati omwana bw'anna finding out nti twali tusobola wakiri okukolako okutuki okumu. Naye ate ne tutakikola. Naye na finding out nti waliwo option ey'okuwulira n'akizuula nti tetwakikola. Naye nga option yaliwo. Olowooza anaakola ki? Anaawulira atya? Kinaamuyisa kitya? Nanga tukoleko wakiri tukole ki? Tukoleko. Ne ŋŋamba kale. Ne tukola plan aleeteko nange ndeeteko. Ne tuddayo ku Audiology ne tubagamba tujja kusobola okutuki kumu. Ne batugamba kale. Ne batukolera invoice. Ne batugamba kati mutandike okukola ki? Okusasulako mpola mpola. Kubanga operation again it is after 2 years nga awezezza emyaka ki? 2.
My name is Mama Fadhi. I gave birth to Fadhi like a normal birth. And he was a normal child, not knowing he was not hearing. I realized my son was not hearing anything. But that is after around 6 months. I decided to take him to hospital. When I took him to hospital, ENT, he told me, he checked, he said, his eardrums are fine. I don't know why he's not hearing. He told me, okay, let me write for you a form. You go to Bombo Road, there is a building called SME. You go and look for Audiology and Speech Center. They do a test, you bring it back.
My name is Damali. Most people refer to me as Nalongo. It's still a new title. I'm still getting used to it. But yes, so Kato and Waso were born in 2017. They were preterm at about 7 months. And they were in the incubator for a while, in the NICU for quite some time. Waso was in there for about 2 months, and he got an infection. He developed meningitis in the NICU, and he ended up developing hydrocephalus, which he was not born with. And I believe maybe that's when he also got problems with his ears. But at that point in time, the only thing that was checked for was they just only did a brain scan. So at about 1 year is when I actually said, you know what, I think Waso is deaf. He could not hear anything, he couldn't respond to any sound, even though you banged the door, got keys, hit, whatever you do, however loud it may be, Waso would not respond to sound. So at around that age is when I started buying toys that could make sound and not just, lighting up and all that kind of stuff. So I'd buy like the police car or an aeroplane, things that would, attract a child's attention. But even though you switched on that toy and it made sound, he would not turn. He would not turn at all. At Kampala Audiology, they put the child to sleep, and they told me, okay, we are going to test one ear at a time. So they did the right ear, and they kept, I think it's increasing volume, because they kept saying at 50, and the other person kept saying no, nothing. 60, 70, 80, 90, and they're like, no. So, you know, the doctor then tells me he cannot hear at all in his right ear. So let us test the left ear. So I had hope. I was like, I hope he can hear a bit, at least a bit, in the left ear. So they test the left ear, they get to 90 as well, and they tell me Waswa is totally deaf.
My name is Sharon Kasaija. I'm the mother to Daniel Kizito. Daniel was born a very healthy baby, healthy appetite, and he is the last child of 3. Daniel spent his early years with his grandmother. And when he came to live with me at age of 2, I realized even when I called him, he didn't naturally turn and respond. So I thought he was just being a big baby. But Daniel had a cataract, and personally I was going through some health challenges, so my mother was helping me. Daniel was taken for the cataract operation, and his sight was restored in his right eye. Then a doctor told me Daniel was suspected to be a rubella child. Daniel started, when his siblings would talk to him, Daniel would just pass. Even when he would crawl to something that you thought was dangerous and you'd want to stop him in his tracks, you'd call him, but there was no response.
I am Kayongo Patrick Masuka. I am 75 years old, a Ugandan. The pain was that he is the head of family who is mute. And why I brought this book is to show you roughly how we are corresponding with my friend here. Okay? It was painful. So she was my brain 24 hours. You can imagine the pain. And then I was getting sensitive. What are you talking about? What are you talking? Are you talking about you? Are you saying, why are you talking to that man? Why? No, such things. And how she was a battlefield.
I'm Mrs. Juliet Kayongo. This is my husband. We married early enough. We were not 30 years by the time we married. He could hear. We were very happy. But as you were told, that it went on gradually. I was wondering what was happening to him. So one day he told me that his hearing is not okay. It brought a grief in our home. We could no longer joke because he's a man who jokes. But during that time, there was no joke. Then I started having children. As you know, a person who is with such a problem cannot hear me, cannot hear the children, so misery comes.
When we do hearing assessment, like we said, we find out the level at which you're hearing. It's the degree of hearing problem, because at the end of it all, the management or the treatment is different for different degrees of hearing loss. So some people have mild hearing loss, moderate, severe. So most of the children we have who qualify for cochlear implants are have profound hearing loss, meaning that they have lost almost all their hearing.
I think parents with similar challenges should not just sit and, and give up. They shouldn't give up. They should go to Kampala Audiology and Speech Center and find out what can be done. The cochlear implant works. I have seen it for myself. We call Waswa the miracle baby because I can't believe that he can, speak and say some words, and yet he was totally deaf. Hello. Hello. Okay. Yes, that's nice. Say Waswa. Waswa. Baby Waswa. I love you. So this surgery works. Yes, it may be expensive, but if you can look for the money, if you can sacrifice as much as you can, I would want, every child or anyone who is deaf to actually try doing this surgery. It works.
The surgery works. It works, really works. Because Father was off completely. Father can do his work well. He can write his name. And he likes the books, by the way. And I want him to be a doctor, ENT. My father is a very lovely boy. And I'm grateful to God. Even you, when you see him, you say, mashallah. Only the problem he has was not hearing and talking. The first time I recognized he could hear the name, I was so happy because I was standing in my bedroom. He was like in front there. I said, Father, don't do that. He turned. Oh my God, I felt it was not true.
After I have got this thing, joy has come because I was even able to talk to you. I was even able to greet you. I was even able to understand. You can even talk without this book. You can even talk this one. Hello? Speaking, sir. I'm quite well.
My struggle with Daniel, I believe, will make another parent's journey easier. Personally, I have sacrificed. I had a job, I had to leave because I had to learn sign language. Later on, I had to do therapy. Later on, So it's been such a long journey that any parent you have to sacrifice and support. If you take your child out there and they say, oh, he's deaf, leave him at home. No, don't leave that deaf child at home. Take the child with the other children. Treat the child as normal.
Asobola okwogeramu kyatakolanga luli era bw'omugamba nti Vicky, I don't want that, ategeera nti omugambye luli teyakikolanga era nga luli akutunuulira butunuzi nga talina kyategeera. Kati she's normal, olaba nga ali normal nti kimu kyokka kyokka ekibulawo nti kati tasobola kwogera nti sentence naye nga kati buli ky'omugamba awulira.
Kampala Audiology and Speech Center has been doing cochlear implants for many years, and the first ones we did were in 2017, and that was our first time, and we did 6 years. So we've done a total of 25 years all this time. We are hoping to do more this year because the parents have known that there is help for their children, because before this time there was no one knew what to do. We used to send all the children to the school for the deaf, but now people have known more about cochlear implants, and so they are bringing their children.